Artek, and we will be taking you for the coverage of Rose's fight night tonight.
We're really excited, so we've got 8 fights coming up, 1 K1 and 7 Muay Thai.
We are doing 1 non-decision exhibition and 7 decision fights, so get ready for some good action.
So I think this is the busiest it's ever been for a fight night at York, is that right?
Yes, that is correct. We have sold out our, I'd say this is the biggest arena that we can hold. Central Hall is capable of, I believe, around 1,000 for capacity, if not slightly over. And just looking out at it, I'd say it's pretty full.
It's pretty loud, especially as the fights haven't even gotten started.
Just talking around here,
yeah.
It feels like my throat's already going to fall off. You have to speak quite loud to hear yourselves in an arena full of so many people. Yeah. How are you feeling? Are you feeling excited for this?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, normally I'm in the ring side of it, so it's a bit different watching it. So I know the fighters are probably going to be feeling quite nervous. Walking out in front of an audience is terrifying, especially one this big. I think it's about 1,000 or so. And I know for a few fighters, this is their first sort of walk out in front of a big audience. So hopefully everyone's super nice and supportive for them.
That's completely true. But I also think that seeing an audience of this size, especially one that historically has been quite supportive, I think it can really, really help those athletes, help the fighters in the ring, help them give that performance boost. I mean, where else isn't a student, an amateur fighter that's a student going to experience an atmosphere quite so loud?
Yeah, I know. I've watched the York fights. We've had a few over at Lancaster. It's been really exciting. I think we're beginning.
There's our warning. There's our warning for 5 minutes. As you guys, I'm sure, can hear, there is an excitement in the room. I mean, I'm buzzing.
Yeah, I mean, even Long Boy's here. He's down there wandering about in the crowd.
I mean, what can you say? When in York?
Yeah, I mean, my first time in York, quite liking it over here.
Oh yeah, welcome. I'm sure that when we're over at yours next year, hopefully, if this goes well as we think it will, we will have something similar next year at our very friendly rivals team.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if we can get this to continue on. I think fighting especially you see less of it, but I think it's become more popular recently, and I'm really liking that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just going off of what I know from York, at our fight night in March, we had just over 300, which is still very crazy, considering that we projected just over like 180. But yeah, no, like the interest has gone skyrocketed. I can see the amount of demand. We're getting DMs left and right about people asking for more tickets. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think it's just going to continue to grow. It's such a crazy sport. Who doesn't love to come and watch people, beat each other up?
And I think, especially if this keeps going, so for this year, it's not counting towards roses, but if we can get it 3 years in a row, it will start to count, and I think that could be very, very exciting.
Very, very detrimental to our friends over at Lancaster.
Well, we'll have to see about that. We'll have to see about that one. But no, we've done a few in Lancaster and York, have had a few MMA interclubs. A couple of these people will have briefly sparred in the past before, so there's a good sort of friendly rivalry going on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is that rivalry. It is roses after all. You can't expect it to be, all too friendly. But at the same time, these fighters know each other at least somewhat. They're all good. They all have good vibes. You can only expect the best, and we know that the crowd and all the people will be as supportive as anyone else.
I mean, we're all in the same ring at the end of the day. They're in there together. They want to put on a show. You guys want to be entertained. They want to come out of it, hopefully not knocked out, and it should be a good, fun night for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can only congratulate anyone from just getting in that ring. Honestly, what is it, 2-3 steps up? That feels like 1,000 steps when you're standing right there. It is a incredible task to get in that ring, face someone who wants to shut your lights out, and stand there and know that you are able to do your own. And we can see Longboy waving over at us. Wow, no, that is something.
He is the star of this night, though, really.
That is true. You mean, as I said, when in York, Longboy is there.
We don't have a Longboy equivalent, I don't think, regrettably.
Well,
so might have to borrow him for next year.
I would say that's unfortunate, but under the circumstances of Longboy's,
untimely demise.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was quite unfortunate. The only thing that's unfortunate about Longboy is that I've heard the rumours of the Longboy memorial statue almost being stolen quite a few times, but people just love Longboy so much that they just need it that close.
The people need an icon.
They need an icon. It's true, and I hope that out of this fight night comes another icon for both of our teams.
Hopefully.
Someone that we can look up to. Realistically, we're looking up to all these people. Like, everyone in here, as I said, so brave, so strong. But yeah, even though it doesn't count to roses, as you said, we'll know.
Yeah, I think we're going to be keeping sort of a friendly score between Lancaster and York, just so we sort of have that friendly tally between us, keeping track of it a little bit. So there still is a little bit of, you want to go out there and you want to win, unless you're the non-decision fight. But you can still kind of tell when a non-decision is won.
100%.
Sometimes it's quite obvious, the crowd will cheer a little bit louder. So, but no, it's so scary walking out there, and hopefully they absolutely smash it tonight.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I've not been in front of a crowd this big ever, but yeah, as you said, you can tell sometimes. But the thing about the crowd is, I've heard historically at any sort of these events, Lancaster do tend to outdo York with how loud they do cheer, how loud they encourage their fighters, and I'm hoping that we see a little bit of a turnaround here, or at least a matching.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, on the subject of points, I do know, as you did say, this doesn't count to points, but if I'm not wrong, Lancaster is ahead by quite a bit.
I believe last time I checked, Lancaster was around 135 and York was at 81, I want to say.
I can only say that's unfortunate for us, but
you could pull
it's going to be quite historic.
And
I think our announcer is getting into the ring right now. So, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be cutting to the action quite soon.
Night 2025. This is part of the incredible 60th anniversary celebration of Rose's Weekend. Okay, quiet. Let me hear it from York. Okay. Let me hear it from Lancaster. Okay, we're going to bring you an electrifying event with 8 intense fights of Muay Thai and K1. So whether you're here from Lancaster or York, whether you're red or white, let's make some noise! Okay, a quick rundown of tonight's event. Muay Thai will feature 5 rounds, each lasting 1.5 minutes, while K1 will have 3 rounds of 2 minutes. After the 4th fight, we'll take a 20-minute interval. Before we get into the show, we've got some house rules for everyone. Please show respect to your fellow attendees, the fighters, and everyone involved in making this event possible. Sportsmanship is key in both in and out of the ring. While we encourage passion and excitement, we ask that all fans remain courteous and mindful of each other throughout the event. Now with that said, let's hear it for Team York! And let's hear it for Lancaster! Okay, are we ready for the first fight? I don't think you're ready. Are we ready for the first fight? Okay, the first fight will be an exhibition Muay Thai. In the red corner, representing Lancaster, Ella Cathrew.
Walkouts of the night there.
This ain't staying in Vegas.
Quite interesting. I actually really liked it, if I'm honest. The American flag, it was all very patriotic. Tris, as you guys may not know actually, is originally from Vegas and moved here to study for university. And yeah, this is her first year of Muay Thai. So
I believe this is Ella's second fight. She fought at Muay Thai Books for a non-decision. This is also a non-decision fight, so we'll be looking for some nice, clean exchange of shots, and just for them to get into the swing of things and feel out the ring a bit more.
While this is not their first time feeling the power of those shots, it is the first time they're feeling it in front of such a big crowd. Realistically, the effect a crowd can have on you, that adrenaline, it really is something. As we see the teep there from Ella, and another kick.
They're clinching up, and they're broken out. Ella's getting loads of those nice, lovely kicks in. What we don't want to see, though, is either of them gassing out too early on, as the Muay Thai fights are 5 rounds of 1.5 minutes.
I think they're doing quite well managing their cardio right now. I think neither of them are swinging too hard. neither of them are doing too much. I think they're both feeling each other out as you do in the first round.
There's a nice exchange of punches, a nice back and forth going on right now, getting a feel for how each other fights.
Ella is going back for that right kick constantly, over and over again. And Trish is seeing that. And I feel like she's taking it a little bit, but to give back, that knee is landing again.
Ella's got her against the ropes there, trying to get those knees in. They're working close range in the clinch here.
They're trading knees and a separation. And that is the end of round number 1 as they go back into their corners.
They're going to be feeling it from those knees, but they look quite energized, quite ready to go, quite get in trading with those blows.
They might feel it now, but they're going to feel that properly tomorrow. Those knees looked powerful, if I'm honest. I assume that they're going to be getting some big advice in this round. Trish not even choosing to sit on the stool. I think it's a powerful statement, but I don't know if she won't come to regret that. It does get really tiring after a few rounds.
You can see Ella, she's nodding over to her corners there. I think she's getting a little bit of motivation. She should be okay. Hopefully she'll get back up and we'll see some wonderful fighting. You can see they were breathing a little bit heavy, but nothing too bad.
10 seconds out. I think Trish would have got some advice on stopping that right kick from her corner. Honestly, it does build up. Taking that kick to the body is big. And the knee comes again with the clinch.
Ella's going in for the body a lot there with her knees and her kicks. I think that must be her strategy here. Rush in, get close range, whack in some knees.
The aggression really is on display here. We know that they like aggression in Muay Thai, but this is really something. They're both fainting, they're both thinking about it, but this does not look like nerves to me. This just looks like pure fighting. They both look composed. Regardless of both of them trading shots and taking shots, they're still doing very well.
Ella was doing some lovely jab crosses there. For beginners, both of these girls are really quite new to the sport. You couldn't tell too much. They are doing really, really well. I know I certainly wouldn't have been able to do that when I was so new to the sport.
Oh no, I would never. Honestly, I don't even know how they get the nerve and the bravery to go out there.
Lovely kick from Ella there.
And they're squaring back up. But that left kick is there for Trish. And again, but it doesn't land too flush. She's only like feeling it out. I know that it's a non-decision fight, but if this is what we have in store for us,
it's going to be a good night.
Squaring up again.
Got them sort of
measuring, and we're 10 seconds
that's
out.
End of the second round there.
Oh, never mind. Sometimes I get those mixed up. Back in the corner, Trish still choosing not to take the stool. I mean, it is something I commend, but if I was there, I would definitely be sitting down right now.
You do need the breaks, however you don't want to trick your body into thinking it's done by sitting down.
That is true, the fighters do know themselves best. If I was in Trish's corner right now, I'd be talking about not allowing that knee to land. Making sure that that left body kick is also not landing. Because regardless if it's on the right or the left, it's going to take a toll. It really, really negates your conditioning. It can really take away your cardio, especially heading into the later rounds where they're going to both want to show themselves off, knowing that it's a non-decision. So unless they show that, they won't really truly know to themselves who won.
I think what we want to see from Ella this round, a bit more setting up those kicks and knees, a bit of jabbing in, a bit of boxing in, just to set them up a bit more.
Here we go for round number 3, I believe.
Lovely body shot there.
Trish jabs and left kick. There's a right kick from Ella. Trish is shooting it up. Throwing those punches. Punches and bunches from Ella now. Double stiff jab, knocking Trish back. And there's a sweep.
That's Trish on the floor. She's got back up though, she's got back up.
She's got the fighter spirit. I mean, if you can get up those stairs and into that ring, you can get off that canvas.
Absolutely. Got a bit of punching out from Ella now.
Oh,
Trish is down
and
again.
Trish goes down again, but it's okay. She's got her hands up, her spirit's up. You can't take a spirit away from a fighter like that.
Massive kudos.
Ella coming in with a rampage of her own again.
And a break from the ref.
Is that an 8 count or is it just a break? I'm not too sure what's going on right now, if I'm honest.
Oh, time from the ref there, time.
I assume it is.
Oh.
And we're restarting again. Here we go.
There we go.
Squaring back up.
Lovely jab to the face there from Ella.
I'm assuming that the corner right now for Trish is shouting to tell her to stop taking that stiff jab. A jab, we know, is one of the basics in every striking sport. And it's said to be the softest, but as we go for a clinch here, the knees are big.
And that's time for the third round.
That is correct. As I was saying, the jab is said to be one of the softer punches, but truly, when it's a stiff jab and when it's adding up with doubles or triples, it can really knock you back. You start feeling your chin much more than if it was just a random hook out of nowhere.
Ella's got that just a little bit of that boxing experience before she started Muay Thai at uni. Around a year of it, so it is nice to see her utilising that experience and landing those jabs.
100%, but we can't limit her to that. She's been doing great with her kicks.
Yeah. Those knees and kicks to the body are insane.
I think Trish will be heading out into this 4th round, trying to take away from that. She's probably going to try to keep her guard a little bit higher, a little bit stiffer, and try to check some of those low kicks, try to maintain more distance. But it's only advice you can give. As you head into a 4th round of a fight like this, you're going to be tired. You're not going to be as springy coming in and out, and it's truly hard to get out of the way of stuff like that.
We just want to see nice exchanges. With it being an exhibition fight as well, we want clean shots, good technique, and hopefully both girls will be able to keep throwing out there.
It's lovely to still hear that support of that crowd. I really think that is giving both of them another boost of energy. There we go, squaring up again.
Both going in for a knee there. Knee to the ribs from Ella. And another one, and another.
Close against the ropes.
I think Ella's strategy here is to try and get Trish up into the corner and the ropes, and it seems to be working for her.
I see it. Another break from the ref. But there's the crowd cheering her on. You really can't predict how hard stuff like this is, and the ref calls it there. Ending the fight. Early, albeit a war, it was truly something. Despite not going the distance, it was still a great fight.
A good bit of sportsmanship from the girls there, congratulating each other.
And the crowd cheering for them both. It's what you love to see.
Poll in the chat, so you can talk about it as well.
There's a poll in the live stream chat, so if you guys want to put who you think will win in there, have a vote. This one is a decision.
Both hands raised.
A non-decision, sorry.
This is brilliant.
Beautiful work and a great kick-off to the night, I think.
Matthew.
No, yeah, it's brilliant. I think getting into that ring is so much work.
In the second fight
and we're getting ready for the second
this
fight.
evening, in the red corner, representing Lancaster, Josh Cherington.
Sounds of the surf.
Everybody knows what time it is when they hit. Salute to Sir Spiral, caught this one. Gun fingers and a screw face when they hit. We'll have your girlfriend in the crowd screaming.
Here comes our Lancaster fighter.
Jumping into the ring there, absolutely cleared the rope.
Gun fingers and a screw face when they hit.
That That was some great athleticism.
Will have your girlfriend in the cross.
And in the white corner, representing the University of York, Nolan.
Tyler a little eager to get in there.
Yeah, this is the 4 best crews in the game. I'm in them. If you
And
don't like
doing
me,
the
do
same,
something.
clearing the ropes. I mean, he is quite a little bit taller, but they're both very athletic, as you can tell.
Now, starting with this fight and all the following fights, they will be decision fights. There will be winners and there will be losers. However, we're still looking for that supportive atmosphere from everyone.
You would say this is where it gets serious, but it's been serious. It only gets harder and better from here.
Hopefully we can be looking forward to some really cool kicks from Josh in the red corner there. He actually has 6 years in Taekwondo before joining Muay Thai at university, so it'll be exciting to see what happens with that.
Starting off very strong.
You can see him starting off with those side kicks there. Lovely stuff.
Those teeps, wow. Wow, what a response from the crowd as Tyler goes forward, pushing hard, going into, I would say, every corner of the ropes.
They've just absolutely sent it in those first 20 seconds. Either it's going to pay off or they're going to gas.
100%. I mean, I know that these guys will both have good gas tanks, but let's just see where this goes. I mean, I think...
Lovely
as it goes
exchanging
back-
of the kicks here as well. Some really, really nice stuff.
I mean, as we mentioned, Josh is from a Taekwondo background, and if I'm not mistaken, Tyler has done karate. So it's a very big, it's a clash of both styles, but they are going to be both very kick heavy. As we see, again, as we enter the clinch now, into the corner. And they're broken back out into free fighting. Teep there from Tyler.
Lovely teep there.
They're striking. I'm pretty sure all sides of that ring have been touched in terms of the ropes. They are really spinning around in circles. But that is not bad at all for a first round as it concludes.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. It looks like a really, really good matchup here.
They are really embracing the spirit of Muay Thai, coming out swinging.
I'm loving these side kicks from Josh. It does look like he's trying to get a head kick in, and if he gets that hard enough, it could be Tyler on the floor.
Oh, 100%. But with this aggression, either of them could open themselves up to a big shot. And it's really just about who can capitalize on that.
Yeah, really, really strong fighters coming out, guns blazing.
Oh, it's impressed me very much.
The crowd was insanely loud as soon as those two broke out.
I thought my eardrums were about to burst being in this room.
I think both of them might be getting a little bit from the refs of saying, calm it down a little bit, you got 5 rounds to go.
That is true. Their corners will be urging them to keep up good intensity, but also take it easy. You know, pace themselves, just as you said. Here we go again for the second round as the fighters go together. And here's the start of round number 2 as we get right back into it. See them going back to those body kicks, to those teeps.
Got a little bit of hand movement there from Tyler.
Truly, I think in terms of punches, the ratio of punches to kicks that has been landed is so low.
Oh!
Wow, as that teep connects.
He's back up though, he's back up.
I mean, if you were in that ring and you got knocked down like that, swept like that, you wouldn't want that to keep you down.
Yeah, you
fought
get
way
up
too
and
hard.
you come out flying.
You can put me down like that, get back up and put you down just the same. I hope
Yeah.
Tyler is coming up with that mindset exactly.
You can see Tyler sort of attempting to work Josh into the corners there. He managed it earlier, landed a lovely teep in there.
I can only assume with the slight height advantage that Tyler will also be sporting a reach advantage.
That could really help in terms of when they tire out and want to start exchanging hands instead of legs.
especially when he gets him backed up into that corner.
You can see them sort of trading blows here. Josh walking, lovely body shot from Tyler there. Oh, Josh's on the ropes. They're getting a bit scrappy with it.
You can really see that Taekwondo style when he turns to his side. Someone might think that, oh, he's just turning away or he's making a rookie mistake, but that is his style. That's embedded in him, and it works.
A good long distance kick goes a long way.
It is very true.
A side kick to the chin is nasty.
People do like to talk down on karate, on Taekwondo, but truly, the foundation of kicks it gives you, especially in a fight like this, can end it any moment.
It can keep, if someone's a particularly good kneer and clincher and likes to get up close with it, it can keep them away as well. It can work to an advantage.
As we've seen, we expected Tyler to have a bigger reach advantage, to be able to do more of that, but Josh is keeping him away with those kicks. It is the threat of that power behind it. You feel that once or twice and you think twice about going back into that. But the aggression is high. They're keeping it very entertaining.
I think it's looking quite even. However, because Tyler did go down, I think the judges will sort of be favouring the fact that he fell down.
I do agree with you there. And I believe we're starting the third round here. They come out of the corner.
Straight in there from both of them. Josh on his kick still.
I believe both of their corners will be talking to them now about preserving their stamina should this go to distance.
Josh against the ropes there by Tyler.
The ropes have seen some action today. A swing and a miss there with a right hook.
You can see Tyler's hands dropping a little bit, but with the distance of the kicks they're doing.
I don't think he's doing it out of being tired. I don't think it's lazy either. I think he understands the range and he's letting them down slightly. As they go back into the clinch, those knees are huge.
It's definitely stylistic, and you can see the way these fighters fight.
Both of them have their quirks about them, but their styles do work against each other. As we've seen this is not one-sided at all.
Tyler had Josh against the ropes there, trying to work some knees in.
He managed to land them, but there's not enough work being done there as they return to the center.
Exchanging some nice face shots.
Big kicks from both fighters. And that's the end of round number 3.
I think it's still looking fairly even for me there. I think Tyler potentially dominated Josh just a little bit more.
He might have got back what he lost in round 2.
Yeah, he was really working Josh into those clinches and into the ropes there.
I can only assume with who I know, Will and Kareem in the corner of Tyler, I can only assume that they will be talking to him more about preserving that energy, but also keep working his hands more. He works his kicks perfectly, but there is certain times where they get into that corner position where he's just not reaching enough. He's slightly too far back because he's worried about those kicks and those knees.
Not too sure what Josh will be being told, but I can only assume it's supportive. Keep doing more of what he's doing. It seems to be working out for him.
It's very true. I can only assume both fighters will be told here that this is the start of the 4th round, if I'm not mistaken, and if this is to go the distance, they need to have that stamina in the 5th round to keep going, but this doesn't seem to be a struggle for either of them as Tyler goes down.
That will count against him, I believe.
I believe so too. Tyler's going to be looking for something big to come back from that. He wants to win this round, as do they both.
You can see the hands starting to come into play a little bit more now.
As I said, I believe that Tyler's corner will be telling him to work those hands more, because thinking about it, moving your leg for a kick does line up with thinking that it's more exhaustive. And as I said, the ratio of punches to kicks has been quite low, so working their hands is probably good advice for both of them at this moment. You get your opponent used to those kicks and those. It's better to use those hands.
They're exchanging a few more close range blows there. We saw a nice right hand to the head by Tyler. Working against the ropes, and the ref has split it up there.
There does seem to be an element of fatigue coming into play here.
You can see it a little bit on their faces. They seem to be tiring somewhat, but it's not physically showing too much. They are still going for it. They've just swapped up less flamboyant kicks and more close range, trying to land those strikes now.
That is very true. They're trying to save it for what works. They're not trying to show off too much. But here we go into the corner for the end of the 4th round. Interlude between the 4th and the 5th and final round. I can only assume that their corners are going to be giving their best advice at this moment.
Just go for it. You get to that last round. I think it's pretty even show, potentially slightly in Josh's favour as he's knocked Tyler down a few times.
That is
but
true.
This one, they just need to both absolutely send it to secure a win.
Neither of us are keeping scorecards, but based on the fact that Tyler has been dropped in round 2 and 4, and we could theoretically give the other 2 to Tyler, this might be the crucial round for either of them if they want that decision. Or, you never know, they might come out swinging going for that KO.
It could also just be a draw. That means that both Lancaster and York would get 1 point each towards their friendly sort of tally that the MMA societies are keeping.
This is big.
I want to see them giving it their all now. This is their last minute and a
100%.
half. They can afford to expend their last energy now.
Here we go for round number 5.
Tyler got Josh in the corner there. Josh landing a knee. Oh, he got Josh down again.
That seemed a bit
Tyler.
like a throw. I don't think pulling down will count against Tyler here.
I don't think that's technically
a sweep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, it could have knocked Tyler's confidence, so either way.
It definitely will have a mental effect of some sort. You can see his hands are slightly lower. I can only attribute that to the fact that those shoulders will fatigue very easily.
Yeah. You can see Josh trying to go for the head shots a bit more. Tyler's landed some lovely hooks to the head though there.
They clinch it up again. And that will also attribute to their arms getting tired. All of this, including blocking those body strikes with their arms, will all fatigue them as Tyler lands a massive left hook.
Josh trying to keep Tyler at the end of his leg. Tyler kneeing in, clinch work against the ropes. It's looking in Tyler's favour against those ropes right there at the minute.
They love going to those ropes. And I believe that's the 10-second warning. This is where they give everything.
They need to give it their all here now. Couple of knees.
And that is time. And what a fight. They are understandably probably both tired, but it is a well-earned type of tired. I assume now we will be waiting on the judges' scorecards to see. Any idea on who's won this?
I think the fact that Tyler's been knocked down a couple of times may play in Josh's favour. However, we did see a lot of Tyler being the one bringing Josh to the ropes towards those later few rounds. I think it's up in the air.
I'd argue that at some point when Josh fell against the ropes after a big kick, it is a very big strike. I know it's not the same as a sweep or a knockdown, but he did get rocked. And there was many times where Tyler swung that hook. But here we go for decision. To your announcer.
Okay. After that fight, the judges have decided that it is a split draw.
Well, as you said, it definitely could go that way. This isn't a case of not believing in that.
Go to the medical to get checked up. And a note from the venue, please do not vape in here. Thank you very much.
No one would do that.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. Just a reminder.
Okay, are we ready to go to war again?
There is a poll on the live chat. Please submit your answers.
Support your fighter by voting for them.
In the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Igli Liko.
Now, Igli was actually fighting in BJJ earlier today, so it'll be interesting to see how his energy levels have kept up since then, but we have full faith in him. A little bit of shadow boxing in the ring there, getting his feel for how it is.
He's enjoying it.
Corner, representing the University of York, Jack Cherington.
Now, this is actually our only K1 fight of the night, so there will be 3 2-minute rounds with a minute break in between. The rules are slightly different to a Muay Thai fight. When they get in the clinch, they're only allowed to exchange 1 knee, no throws, sweeps are allowed, leg kicks are allowed, no knees, no elbows, and when in the clinch, they're only allowed to exchange a little bit before the ref will break them up.
I think you could argue that that makes for equally exciting rules. You know, doesn't take away from anything. I enjoy K1 just as much as Muay Thai.
There's still all those opportunities for landing strikes.
Starting off the round heavy. Igli comes out swinging. Jack gets his own back though. Jack needs to keep his hands up in this situation. His head is rocking about.
Igli may be taunting him a little bit there with his arms being quite so wide out.
I mean, they've earned the right.
He caught Igli's kick there, but he landed some massive headshots before that.
Igli does seem to be enjoying himself in the ring. Almost swinging for spinning back fist, and maybe accidental, but
they are just exchanging those throws there.
Jack took some big hits at the start, but it seems that he's recovering very well. Coming back, he's really got that fighter spirit in him.
He is getting that guard back up every time he's done throwing his hands out.
I think Igli's getting a warning for spinning back fists.
Spinning back fists are banned from this.
Hey, Jack Cherington lands a sweep, and I think that might hit Igli a little bit. Now that he's been taunting, it really might tank his confidence just a little bit, make him level, give him back into that fight, acknowledging and respecting the power of Jack.
He is absolutely going for it, and that's either going to work in his favour by off-putting Jack, or it's going to get him in a bit of trouble with the ref.
And he's leaving his hands down. What was this? I don't know if this is some type of taunt, or if he's just simply fighting in this style, but it certainly is interesting as we get the 10-second warning. Igli turning around once again for whatever reason.
And that's time on the first round. Definitely going to be one to watch. This looks like an interesting sort of pairing.
That is one to watch right back. I want to see the replays on that. Started off crazy. Igli swinging out of the corner. Jack getting back a sweep, getting back his respect. And honestly, it's just amazing. I thought that they would go slightly lower on the intensity, you know, going 2 minutes instead of that minute and a half, despite it being less rounds. But they're fighting like it's just any other Muay Thai fight.
They're just absolutely going for it. I mean, it's a very entertaining watch over here.
Oh, 100%. I would not want to be in there myself.
I would not want to be in there with Igli, personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in there with either of them. They look like they both want it so bad.
They are there to fight. They are there to win.
I think if I took one of those shots that Igli delivered in the first bit of that first round, I might have just given up right there, right then.
Yeah, my head might not be on my shoulders anymore.
That is very true.
Here
they
we
were
go,
very
second
powerful.
round. Jack trying to come out with some kicks there, keep Igley at a bit more distance.
Igley sporting a slightly longer guard, his hands slightly low. But he's keeping that distance well.
I think the strategy here is Igley's trying to come in close range. If Jack keeps him at the end of that leg, it'll be much harder for him to do so.
I don't think either of them have a reach advantage. They seem pretty similar in height and reach.
His hands are absolutely just windmilling everywhere.
There is a certain thing that I'm kind of questioning in it is why Igley keeps turning around slightly. Is it a habit of him doing spinning back fist and now he's not extending that arm out of not wanting a warning? But he just did it again, and I'm not sure what is going on there.
It is a bit of an odd one because it does give Jack that 2-second advantage whilst Igley's turning around.
He's not looking at him, and who knows, he might turn around once and he might face back to see a leg right in his head.
You can see them up against the ropes now. I think Jack's really trying to work him into that corner.
Well, we wanted hands last fight, and here we go.
Oh,
They
we've
are
got a bit of
swinging.
blood down Jack now. I think Igley's managed to bloody up his nose.
Well, who doesn't love a little bit of blood? It really does show that combat spirit.
It's part of the sport, right?
Exactly. They are both after it, but you can see that
Is Igley tiring out, perhaps?
the fatigue is hitting a bit, but I'm not sure. He was similar style in the first round, and I'm not sure if that's fatigue or if that's just a laissez-faire style. Maybe he's just a little bit more calm, keeping those hands by his side a little bit.
I mean, it must be nice seeing your opponent being the one bloodied up and not
Oh,
you.
100%, that's a confidence boost.
Insane
And he
knee
just
there.
walked away for a little bit. Jack needs to capitalize on this.
And that is the end of the second round.
If you aren't enjoying this, I don't know what type of fight fan you are. This is something. This could be so far contender for fight of the night.
The last round is upon us, so in that little YouTube stream chat, if you have hit a little vote on the little poll, who you think's gonna win?
I genuinely think this could go either way. They are both so talented. They are both doing so much, they're giving so much output.
Yeah.
And truly, it's a
Igley's
very
been
insane fight.
hitting perhaps with a higher frequency, but Jack has been landing those body kicks in, and they score quite well, if I remember correctly.
I think just in the 100%. But as I was gonna say, in the eyes of the judges, will they be as equally confused as to why Igley keeps turning? Are they seeing that as a slightly amateur mistake? I mean, I doubt it's gonna impact the scorecards, but you know, just impressions.
Yeah, impressions do sort of matter in this sport, especially judges tend to favour the more aggressive one who's
That is true.
being on the front foot, not back foot.
But I guess Igley has that going for him as we start the third round.
Jack is coming out, he wants
And they're in
it.
the corner and the crowd is on their feet
Knees.
as they're swinging for the ropes.
You can see Jack really working for it now, he wants this.
But Igley's not giving up. Hits there with a hook to the body. Up against the ropes as Jack's head flies back due to
They
a
are
punch.
shot for shot here, really going for it.
They both want it. I think this is a trend so far with all of our fights. They've all wanted it so bad.
You can see Jack landing a few to Igley's head there, getting some payback for that first round.
If I'm not mistaken, Igley's already competed in jiu-jitsu today, so it's understandable that he might have some sort of fatigue, but he's still maintaining very well. As he keeps his range with his feet, knowing that if he can't block, if he can't get out of the way, he can just walk away.
Lots of jab crosses from Igley there, most of them landing cleanly as well.
Massive shots, but you can tell that Igley's fatigued because he's not chasing it as much. He's landing those shots and he's letting them land.
You can see Igley's corner there, shouting at him to keep going, more of it, more of it.
As they fight in the corner, swinging, both swinging, shot for shot. Oh my
Igley's
God! They are swinging. I saw Igley's head fly back, but this isn't the first time one of their heads flown back.
Intense moment in the corner there, the crowd stood up.
They both know that if they want to win this could be the deciding round 2 for this fight.
Jabs from Igley are landing left, right and centre.
Both fighters are landing big shots. Jack hitting hooks again. looking for some sort of clinch, but not getting there. Against the ropes again as they bounce back into the center of the ring.
Jack walking Igley into corners there, and
That is it. What a fight.
That was the sort of show we're looking here tonight.
100%. Just judged off these last 3 fights, if this is what we're in for, I cannot imagine what something like our main event is going to
And they're
hold.
roughly going in experience order as well.
That is true.
So from here, you're only going to see more technical fights as well. The technique has been lovely tonight, though, so
It
far.
has.
Nothing
They-
too messy.
I think, as well, a big shout out to the people that organize the matchups. So far, these matchups have been very, very even and very nice as we go to the ring for our decision.
Igley's got his hand up there. He wants it. He wants it.
They both want it really bad.
Oh, there we go.
After
Got
that
Jack's hand.
match, the winner by split decision from Lancaster University, Iglico.
Well done to both fighters.
That is
A split decision there means that the judges will have been torn whether who did better. I mean, they both did incredibly well. It could have gone either way. I think Igley just landed a few more, was a little bit more aggressive there, and that could have been the swaying factor.
I think, if anything, it was a close
Who's
decision
ready
either way.
for the final fight before the interval? It's my pleasure to introduce, in the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Ciao Viterino.
Got Jao walking out with his Portuguese flag there. Red roses for Lancaster.
Understandably so.
Nicely matching the Lancaster Muay Thai shorts. I'm looking forward to this one. I know Jao has been itching for a fight. And there we go, he's into the ring.
And in the white corner, representing the University of York, Hugh Bond.
If I'm not mistaken, Hugh has a little bit of judo experience.
I mean, I doubt that really helps him in a ring like this, but it is, I guess, any martial arts experience does prepare you for fights.
It could make a takedown a little more likely. However, there are certain rules within Muay Thai
That is very true.
stuff, so you never.
I mean, Hugh says that he sees red, so let's see if he sees red in this ring tonight.
Teep to the face there. That must have irritated Jao. There we are, retaliation there.
Hugh, the more slender, I'd say slightly longer fighter, using that to his advantage with that high kick, landing again on the guard, but even on the guard, a high kick can shake you.
Especially when they're up on your head, you've got your hands there, you're nervous, you get whacked in the head. It's not pleasant.
We've seen people's heads go flying back. Your neck doesn't support as much as you think when something like that comes your way, and your hands can only block so much.
You can see them sort of, I think they're pacing it a little bit, trying to feel each other out as we are back to a Muay Thai round, so there will be 5 rounds here.
This is very true. we're yet to see a knockout or a stoppage on this fight card so far.
Another head kick there from Hugh.
I believe there might have been a low blow there.
I think Zhao is getting told to keep his head up and his hands up perhaps there from the ref.
That makes sense. I mean, it is defend yourself at all times, especially in a ring where the other person wants to knock you out. Good little combo there.
Beautiful. I think Hugh has landed more than Zhao in this round, but that could just be Zhao waiting for his right moment here.
It is true. You can never judge a fight by the 2 seconds that it starts with.
Absolutely. You could see, you know, they were exchanging some blows, but I think Hugh sort of dominated that round a bit more there.
I think, judging off the first rounds that we've seen, it's a feeling out process. Regardless of how intensive and how rushed and how powerful they want to go, you don't know anything about how your opponent feels until you're in there with them. So I believe that we'll see this even out very quickly as the corners advise them on what they need to do.
You could see in the red corner there a little bit of punching motion from the corner, so perhaps they're suggesting that Zhao sort of gets punching out a bit, gets in there, gets into the guard.
You can't complain with advice like that. It's solid. We know that the best type of striking is fundamental striking. Doing anything too much, it gets you knocked out if you're not good enough.
In an environment like this as well, sometimes you forget your more technical things, and what will save you is a jab cross round.
We love the basics. They get it done.
There we are, yeah, Zhao's come out with a little bit more energy there, throwing out a few low kicks.
As I said, especially in a 5-round fight, it doesn't matter what that first round is like if you can make it work later. There's only a minute and a half in each of these. You can only make so much of it, but that also means you can only lose so much of it.
Got a bit more exchanging of hands and knees and legs here.
We love when our Muay Thai fighters use all of their limbs.
Body shot there from Zhao, swinging hook.
Hugh's going to want to circle around a little bit more technically. He dropped his hands like he just finished a bit of pad work. He walked around like he was going to get back into it, but it's moments like those where you can get caught really badly.
You can see Zhao, as soon as he's done this twice now, where he's walked Hugh down into that corner and then swung out with that right hook. And that's something to watch out for Hugh.
It definitely is. But patterns like that, hopefully it's something that when they get to the corner will advise them on, because that can't be allowed to keep happening. When a big shot like a hook is let to keep landing, he's going to recognize that, and he's eventually going to put so much power on it that when it lands flush, they're going to drop. As we end our second round.
Much more even there, nice exchanging of throws. Hopefully it only increases and gets more better from here.
Very true. I think it's been a great start, but as we get to the midpoint of this fight, we're going to see them start to settle down a little bit more. This is where the nerves kind of flow away, and all that you're left with is a bit of silence in your head. You can hear the crowd, but when you're in there, you do have that tunnel vision. Some fighters have told me that they don't even hear their own coaches when they're talking to them in the corner. They have to be told to refocus. Sometimes they get into that and they're going to want to listen to their coaches. They're going to want to listen to their corner. They're going to want to refocus. This is the second half of their fight.
So hopefully we sort of see the peak of what these fighters can do, really see them start to give it their all. So I think they're both holding back a little bit of their full extent of their ability.
They do seem to be indeed. I think that there's a little bit of a worry that they might gas out. We saw that in the first round right after Q finished his big exchanges.
And here we go, attempted head kick there from Zhao. I think it might have landed, hard to tell from this angle.
I have to say that despite being a York person myself, I do love those shorts on Lancaster.
We had a good designer for those, I believe.
I can see that they are something.
You got some long distance kicks from Hugh there, keeping Zhao out of his guard.
If I was in Hugh's corner right now, I'd be saying abuse those few extra inches. You know, a few extra inches can count here.
Oh, a taunting arms up there from Zhao. It'd be cool to see him try those spinning kicks again and land them, get the range correct and try again.
While we know that spinning back fists aren't allowed, spinning kicks are, and they really do some damage. The amount of momentum you can wind up on a spinning kick is massive, but there is again the risk to reward ratio. If you miss that, you are open for something big.
You could also just fly onto the floor.
Massive head kick lands, but Zhao doesn't seem phased. They have good chins.
Caught his leg there, got him in the corner. And broken up by the ref, probably due to inactivity of what they were doing in the clinch there.
Yeah, they were just holding each other. I didn't see many knees there.
And that's the end of the third round.
Third round. If I'm not mistaken, I would like to go back to what you said. They do both seem to be holding back a little bit. I mean, I see Zhao slightly leaning on his corner, but you can only get so fatigued in there, especially with that adrenaline. You can be tired, very tired, but you see it on a fighter, and he doesn't seem too tired. He just seems like he's not giving it his all yet. There might be that fear of not wanting to put it all in just yet, knowing that there's 2 more rounds. It's a very intensive sport.
I think what we can see now there is his coach in the corner sort of just going, go for it, go for it. He seems to be sort of having some words with him, and I can only assume that it is sort of, come on, keep going, keep throwing them out.
He is doing well when he strikes. It's just those moments where he, I don't know, falters in belief or fatigues too much that he takes those punches right back. I mean, Hugh is capitalizing on that quite well, but Zhao has very good technique and very good basics to work on here. Coming out swinging in round number 4, I believe.
Zhao seems to be trying to catch that kick now and then work along the distance of the leg to be in punching distance.
I can only assume that his corner has told him, work on what you know, work on what you've done.
See them there, again, trying to get him up against the ropes perhaps. Hugh's not having it, he's circling out, circling around, which is what you want to be doing when someone's trying to press you in a certain direction.
Both of them could do with a little more footwork. It's a kicking sport, and we know that we like to sit down and base ourselves quite a little bit, but moving around, especially laterally, could help these fighters so much more. Getting that offset, going away from that power leg, it could help quite a bit more, but they are just standing and banging for now.
Low kick from Zhao there. And a teep from Hugh.
There's a little jab, Superman style.
Using that limb length to his advantage.
He's in the corner now. Hugh's pushing him to the other corner now.
And he's working
swinging.
Zhao down there. A kick out from Zhao.
The crowd roaring him on, but he can't keep him in that corner. Zhao really does not want to be stuck in that corner. Nobody does. The corner is the worst place you can go. There's no backing up from there. As we come to the end of round number 4.
I don't know what I think about which way this fight's going. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm so engrossed in the action between both of them that I can't even keep this straight in my mind. All I'm seeing is punches, kicks, everything. Both of them are doing so well. Both of them are managing distance. Both of them are dodging out of it, and they've both had their moments of showing themselves off.
Hugh's been very consistent throughout this all as well, in my opinion.
That
You've sort of
is true.
seen Zhao have his little ups and downs, but his ups are very high. But then Hugh sort of remained a little more consistent, perhaps a little more strategic throughout the entire bout there.
I'm honestly, just from knowing what I know about him, I think he's just saving it for what the last round's going to hold. I mean, as I said at the beginning, the first round might have not counted so much in the grand scheme of things, but it might actually come down to that in the end.
Hopefully we see them both explode in this round, really working for that win.
I assume within the last 30 seconds we're going to see some crazy action. That's when the corners are going to be shouting in, just give it your all.
Just go for it, try it, go for it.
That head kick lands on the guard again. As we said, it's not an easy thing.
Catching the kick but getting a warning from the ref there.
It was over 3 seconds. I believe that's the rule with holding legs.
Yeah, 2 steps forward and then you have to drop the leg.
Well, it promotes activity. You can't hate on that.
You don't want to be static in a fight.
That is very true.
Big high kick from Hugh there.
While they are landing on his guard, they are going to hurt. It is going to move his chin. No matter how much padding you have, your brain's still going to rattle just a little bit, especially when there's so much power on the end of it.
There we go, Zhao coming out with that kick again. He seems to be waiting for Hugh to come in before he
seems to be setting up a counter. I see him moving back, and he almost seems like he wants to let that right hand go.
But in the final round, you should be attack, attack, attack.
100%. Especially since we know that the judges like big punches. They're going to count these strikes.
Massive kick to the chest there from Hugh to Zhao.
I believe that was our 10-second warning. The crowd cheering them on right to the very end.
Nice bit of head movement there.
And that is it for our fourth fight of the night, the last one before the interval. That was something.
Are loving these guys.
While that may not have lived up to exactly the same amount of excitement as our last fight, I don't think anything really can, especially after that. But they both did so amazingly. As you said, Hugh did seem a little bit more consistent, and I think that might push him over on the scorecards. But you never know. Sometimes those big highs are enough to win you those rounds.
Yeah, you can see the boys shaking hands now, and we're about to find out.
As we go into the ring to announce our decision.
Here we go.
The judges have decided the victor of this match by unanimous decision from the University of York,
And that is our first unanimous win of the night. That's 3 points
well
to York in our unofficial record that we're keeping. You can see Hugh celebrating there. He's very happy about it. I would be. And Zhao returning to his corner there.
He fought consistently.
We've got 20 minutes before the next fight, so make sure to go down to the bar, get your refreshments. Thank you very much. We'll be back.
So we've got some of our fighters with us now for an interview, and someone else has joined us. Hello.
Hi. How did you find your fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty punch drunk from it, to be honest. Like, mate, I thought I was hitting some good shots, but the kid's got a chin on him, man. He's got a chin on him, and I was.
Both of you do.
Yeah, I was cracking him every now and then in each round, and he just kept on fighting. So massive respect to him. He's a warrior.
I can only start with, first of all, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
And secondly, have you been to the doctors for your for a medical check post that?
Yeah.
Both of your heads went flying back
I mean,
a few times.
They didn't say I was concussed, to be honest, so
Well,
I believe them.
we trust them. We trust our
Yeah,
doctors.
man. Yeah.
I mean, that was an incredible fight. We noticed a little bit you were sort of spinning around, so your back was on show a few times. Is that out of habit, or
I
what's
can't
behind
lie.
that?
I do like my spinning back fist, but we can't.
That is what I said.
That's
That is
what we
what
thought.
I said.
That's what
I
we
tried
thought.
working on some spinning kicks, but I'm not really good at that. I don't really have the balance for it. You know, I'm not really a kickboxer. I'm more of a grappler, and I just, like to have boxing in my backhand, in my back pocket. And I took this opportunity just to try and prove myself, advance my skills in kickboxing, because I do train MMA, and that is a part of MMA.
Well, as to that point, two things. First of all, congratulations on stepping up here, especially after the grappling match that you had earlier today.
Thank you.
That is very impressive. I had a grappling fight earlier today, and I'm fatigued just sitting in here.
You had many,
so I
I
couldn't
heard.
imagine. Yes, but still, regardless, that is very impressive.
Thank you.
And and secondly, I think you've more than proved yourself out there. That was
Appreciate
very
it.
incredible
Thank you.
striking.
Thank you. Yeah, really, I think one of my idols when it comes to MMA is Nick Diaz, and I've spent a lot of time just studying the way that he fights, the way that he boxes and uses his strikes for full efficiency. And whilst this may not be, the most effective, especially in the modern game, I think there's a lot to take away from it, especially when it comes to, self-confidence, punching with chest.
100%. You didn't give up that whole fight, and it's really admirable.
Thank
I
you.
mean, nobody has, but it's just there's something to looking at that ring and seeing someone get punched so many times and continue to keep going. It's something.
You have to,
crazy.
man. You have to.
Do you have any people you want to shout out? Any coaches?
Shout out Shea Walsh MMA, the best MMA gym in Lancaster, since it's kind of the only one, but in Lancashire as well, the greater Lancashire area. I mean, it is a top gym with top coaches. Shea Walsh himself, I'm a champion, and I've been going to his gym since last year. I've just been improving my game ever since. It's been skyrocketing. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to my the BJJ Society and the Muay Thai Society, who've supported me through this whole journey. And I think this fight night, especially for Lancaster, it's really a cool to the SU to start, promoting martial arts, combat sports a bit more in their general agenda when it comes to sports events in Lancaster. So I hope the SU are seeing this and taking notes.
Fantastic. And over to our other fighter, Tris.
So, I believe we've got Jack now to talk a little bit now. Tris? I'm Tristan. You're Tris? Yeah. I didn't recognize you outside of your fight kit. Wow.
Oh,
You look
yeah.
so scary out there, and you look so nice here.
Thank you so much.
So, how was your fight? How did you find it?
It was really fun. I really enjoyed my fight. We both teams, I mean, Mia was amazing out there. We both prepared to the best of our abilities. We both worked so hard for this. And everybody, I mean, yeah, it is white versus red, but we both worked so hard to put this all together this weekend. And just seeing everybody perform, seeing everybody showcase their skills, it's been absolutely amazing.
I could see you were both going for it there. Really well done.
Definitely.
You were working so hard. Was this your first sort of fight in front of a big audience like
Yeah,
this?
so I've not even a full year of martial art experience. This was my first martial art. I joined for uni. So knowing that I have like a semester of experience under my belt and I got to stand in a ring, really, really cool. And I look forward to how good I get in the future.
I did specifically enjoy your walkout with the very patriotic. We
Yeah,
really liked it.
Very patriotic, gotta represent my home country. But yeah, honestly, I had so much fun, and part of my walkout was just walking out to so many people, no matter where they were from, York, Lancaster, anybody else who's come to watch. Everybody has done an amazing job, and just seeing this fight night occur.
They were all chanting your name. How did that feel in the ring?
Did you hear that in the ring?
I did. It was amazing. Even though I did lose, it was an exhibition, but I
It was an
lost.
exhibition.
We don't need to take the losses.
But it was so fun, and she deserves it. So
Genuinely,
cheers to her.
both of your fight styles, you both giving it your all. You really set the tone for everybody else.
We both gave it our all. We really did.
Could really see it.
Yeah.
I think everyone in this arena would agree that everyone's proud of you here
Yeah.
and of your opponent.
I'm so thankful for all the support I've been given by my family, my friends, this society. I've met so many just amazing people who have supported me along the way, and everybody here who cheered for me, amazing. It's all just been amazing.
And
It really
being
has.
sort of, obviously being a female in martial arts, it is a minority group, and you being the only female fighter of the night, could you give us like a quick rundown of how you found being a female in martial arts and any message to any girls who want to give it a go?
Yeah, it was really, really empowering. I mean, I was terrified when I first joined the MMA society because it is a male-dominated society, but joining it as a female, open arms, everybody's so supportive, and especially as girls, we gotta support each other, right? Like,
Absolutely.
there's just unconditional support, no matter what you identify as, no matter where you come from. This society really has welcomed everybody, and just, especially as the only female fight tonight, amazing. I'm so honored to be here.
You represented us all well.
You set a tone. I think this is of inspiration for a lot of people in here.
Yeah.
And hopefully when we do this again next year, we'll see a few more female fighters in the card.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I know I'm interested in getting in the ring next year, hopefully, if we can find a match-up. So
Hopefully.
Tris, are you thinking about getting in the ring again?
I would. I
You-
definitely would.
I'd like to see you going for a decision fight as well. I think
Yeah,
having that
maybe.
sort of, you definitely had that in you. You could have gone for that
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, over to our other fighter. Thank you so much, Tris,
Thank
for
you
your
guys so
interview.
much.
one. And enjoy the rest of your night. You
Thank
deserved
you.
it.
Thank you.
All right,
Yes.
how are you?
Pretty exhausted right now, if I'm being honest.
I mean, as you can
Tired
see, you
out.
have the support of everyone in here. We got some
crazy.
very personal fans in the building.
Yeah.
Exhausted, but I'm sure elated. Very happy.
Yeah, pretty happy. My God, it's kind of crazy atmosphere. I mean, from in the ring, you can't really see. It's just like you're just surrounded by light and noise, pretty much.
As we can hear, people are loving it.
It's the fans. It's the fans.
Is the number one fans. Anything towards any personal highlights? Anything that you enjoyed? Anything that you went in there thinking, I'm going to try this, and it worked out?
Well, something that didn't. I wanted to try just keep my head covered, which I think didn't work as well in the first round, but maybe worked a bit. I wanted to land a lot of kicks, and I did land some good kicks, I felt, so I'm happy with that.
100%. I mean, your striking output was quite crazy. If I'm not mistaken, during your fight, your opponent came out swinging. As we were saying in this commentary booth, it would, for me personally, it would be quite hard to recover off something that quick. So just your will and spirit coming off of that to come back and just keep fighting is something for us very inspirational.
Well, I kind of sort of thought after I was taking a few hits, this isn't going to end anytime soon, so I might as well try swing back a lot.
Talk us through your decision making, going between rounds. Like, what were you thinking?
Well, I was just trying to listen to like my two guys in my corner.
Could you hear them quite well?
Not during the match. When the ref was like splitting us up, and I looked over and they're just shouting at me. I'm like, I cannot make out a single word. But
no, I get it. I also want to ask regarding like, how did you feel your matchup was in terms of like skill, and do you feel like you were challenged, or do you feel like you were quite level?
I mean, I'd say I was a bit challenged because this is my first bout sort of fight. While my other guy had not kickboxing experience, but he'd done a lot of grappling competitions and he did some interclubs, so he'd like maybe a bit more prepared for the atmosphere. But I mean, we were matched well in terms of weight, and I think in terms of like ability, probably.
I mean, in terms of the atmosphere, did you? I mean, we've spoken to the fighters, and we've heard from other fighters before that you can kind of hear it, but you kind of zone it out. How was your experience with that?
I did kind of zone, like, it was just noise. It was kind of like, I could hear it, but like the only thing I could really make out clearly was just my thoughts. Again, like anybody shouting advice to me in the ring,
None of that was
not
in.
really hearing it, but
It is hard to hear what's going on when you're in the ring.
It's loud.
Trust me, like with this crowd, when we're talking here, sometimes, apologies to the stream, obviously, we overlap just because we can't hear each other from this distance apart. I can only imagine what it's like for you in the ring.
People's lungs must just be gone after this
Yeah,
event. Like,
yeah,
it's going to be a
100%.
quiet Sunday, that's for sure.
Do we have any shout outs? Anyone that you want to thank personally?
Which camera am I looking at? That one. Yeah,
I
okay.
think it's that one.
One of
We're
them.
unsure
yeah,
as well.
Shout out the guys who came to support me, Joseph, Theo, Edward, Guy, everybody else that came, the whole of Abet Pemina. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
And how's your experience with, leading up to this and the fight camp and all your training partners?
Oh my God, I just got to thank the club so much. I couldn't have done it without the people at Legions and the people who run the York MMA Society. Like, they're supporting me. It's the sparring and the sessions that made this happen.
I mean,
very grateful.
unbelievably so. I'm pretty sure, being there myself, I'm pretty sure you showed up to almost every 7 a.m. session.
Show up to a lot of them.
Yeah, so that dedication it really transpired in the ring.
I'm glad it paid off because those suck to go to.
And now, what are we looking forward to in the future? A bit of eating, a bit of.
I think I'm just not going to get up before 7 o'clock.
That makes sense. I think you've earned
Lions
that.
all the way, yeah.
And as one final question, before I hand over to you, if you have any extra questions, do you have any future plans for getting back in the ring, any more fights, or is this more of a, I'll take it as I see it?
I mean, this was, so like before I did this, I kind of did want to do this as a one-off thing. I don't think I'm going to be doing many amateur fights, but I want to do this because I'm not really going to get many opportunities outside of uni to do this. I wanted something special at uni to remember and to get it done in second year. I mean, it was fun. I might do one in the future, but at the same time, I don't know if I can be asked to be getting up and doing the training.
Should you do one in the future, I'm sure it will go even better. And if not, you can be an inspiration to all your teammates, showing that you got in the ring.
Backseat fighter, backseat fighter.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for
and
interviewing me.
Well done on your fight.
Thank
you so much.
Well done,
Thank you,
done.
guys.
100%.
Do you have any extra questions?
I think you covered it pretty well there. I think now we've got
Sorry for the
TJ
ad, guys.
from the York SU
Lovely.
Sport joining us.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well done on your fight again. Hi.
Hello.
So, if I've got this correct, you are the York SU Sport President?
Sports officer now,
Sports
but
officer
I was
now. Okay.
I was the
and
sports
it's
president.
TJ, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How are you finding the night?
Oh my God! Come on! Is there anything better than this? A sold-out Central Hall for fight night with our amazing MMA club. I don't think it gets better than this. I was just saying it to one of my friends, being like, whatever you say, York can put on a good show. We can put on a great night, and I mean, just look around you. Isn't this what it's all about?
Absolutely. It's an insane turnout. And oh, there goes one of the lights.
We'll ignore that.
Hopefully you can see us still. There's these beautiful faces sat here in front of you guys. So, are you sort of happy that this is fighting doesn't go down too well? But are you happy that we've been putting more of it on as sort of university sport have been supporting it more?
I mean, yeah, 100%. Obviously, like, this is a different kind of fighting. This is regulated fighting.
Yeah.
Everyone's been checked. Everyone's been carded. So this is amazing. Like, when you know that these are trained athletes who are doing this. It's just insane. And where I come from, we don't have stuff like this. So, and this is not my first fight night. I've been to a few fight nights before this as well. It just seems to get better every time I'm here.
Surely it's only just growing now. Hopefully next year we can put in even bigger shows, even outside of Roses, but especially on the next Roses card, which is in Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that we can put on an equally as great show. I see that you're here supporting in full spirit. Lovely.
I'm always got to represent.
We love this. Unfortunately for us, where roses are pink today.
Roses are pink, guys. Roses are pink.
But we can secretly support. We love it. How do you feel about the performances of our fighters today?
Oh, I mean, sorry.
How do you feel about the performances of our fighters today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been amazing. Right from the first fight, like I said, Tristan, I think, was the girl. She was amazing. Then I think it was Josh, who was a fantastic. It got aggressive very quickly, I have to say that. It's sort of like, I was like, oh, this is nice, like they were all hugging each other. They were like, oh, yeah. And then they just went at it, and I was like, oh, my God.
I think we are getting a 5-minute warning.
Here we go, I think.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes out, 5 minutes out.
We have one more interview, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Okay, you too.
Hello again, and we are here with...
Hello, I am Aravind. I am the president of the Lancaster University Muay Thai Society.
I've had the great pleasure of messaging back and forth with Aravind quite a few times over our shared group chat in the organisation of this. You've been very instrumental in the organisation of this. How are you feeling about how it's turned out so far?
It's been absolutely amazing. From everything I've seen, the organisation, the crowd, absolutely electric. I did not expect this much of a show to be put on. I'm absolutely blown away by everything.
I mean, I think we owe this all to our collaborative TV societies. Absolutely. And also just all our supporters. Like, there's so much voice for everyone. You can hear it. It's so loud. Absolutely. We can't even hear each other sitting next to each other.
Wow. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, how are you looking forward to the next half of the card?
Obviously, I'm going to be supporting my lot, Lancaster.
100%.
We're going to be chasing these wins, because at the minute I think we're in a draw. We're both 4-4. I absolutely want to push for these wins. I'm going to keep screaming. I'm dripping buckets in the corner, screaming orders at people. and I'm going to continue doing that.
How is sitting in the corner? How is that being that close to the action, telling your fighters what to do? Are you finding that quite exciting?
Yes, it is very exciting. It's quite intense, to be honest. As I said, I'm currently still drenched in sweat. I'm going to go back out now. I'm going to be drenched in sweat again. But I'm more than happy screaming and losing my voice just to do this anytime.
We do love this. This sort of passion is everything behind this sport. If I can get one more question, it would be, is there anything you think we should be looking out for from one of your next 4 fighters? Any specials? I mean, obviously we love everyone, and everyone's equally great. But surely you have someone or something about someone that you think is going to shock us all.
I've got a few things actually. I don't remember the exact order, but my friend Eunice, he's got a lovely spot kick. His left kick will come straight up, whip into someone's liver. That can drop someone. Got Max. He might look like a small lad, but he's shredded and he's got a lot of fucking power behind him.
No worries. We apologise for any language used on stream.
And finally, we've got Joel, big, lot tall, lanky lad. He will teep someone in the face and snap their head back every single time.
We do love that, but only as viewers, not as fighters.
Of course. Don't want to be on the receiving end.
It's good to look, but not good to experience.
Of course, absolutely.
Would you say that the fighters have lived up to your expectations? I know you work quite closely with them in training. Have they sort of performed better than you hoped for?
Absolutely. Every single person is putting their heart out on every single fight. Be it the 5-round Muay Thai or the 3-round K1. Everyone's giving it their absolute best every single time.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that our announcer is making his way to the ring now. So we're going to thank you so much for your interview.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the next 4 fights. I hope that is great.
Thank you very much.
Apart from the drench and sweat part. Thank you
very
so much.
Have a good day.
Thank you. And we're starting the second half now, I believe.
I think our announcer is making his way to the ring.
Now you've been very loud this evening, so let's test your voices. Can we hear it for the University of York?
I check my phone now.
Okay. And can we hear it for Lancaster University? Now, not only have you been loud this evening, you've been thirsty, because we have drank the bar dry.
That is definitely something that I did not expect.
Officially, no more booze in this place. Listen, take it as an achievement. Okay,
I think that's a fair
ready
boo.
for the first fight? In the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Yunus Al-Huari.
Got Eunice in the ring now, looking ready to go. Bit of shadow boxing there. Red lights on him. He's getting in the vibe.
I quite like this song. I think it's quite a great walkout, actually.
Bit groovy, get the tunes going.
In the white corner, representing the University of York, and fire!
Another fantastic walkout song.
They've both gone for great vibes here. But I know Ed loves this song. We've heard it over and over again in training, but you know, he bleeds Volt. He is from down under. What can you say?
You've got the crowd singing along to Ed's walkout here. It is a vibe, you have to admit.
They've both been great walkout songs. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy the vibes. You just gotta love it.
Nice hype songs to start out after the interval.
And they make their way to the center of the ring.
Got an even sort of height by the looks of it, almost.
I would say so. And as we get the start of the very first round, and there we go, and start the action. Ed out with the low kick first. It didn't land, but he's letting him know it's there.
Once again, this is the first round, so we'll just be they'll be feeling each other out, getting a taste for what's going on.
You would think so, but after a heavy head kick like that, even on the guard, that is heavy.
He is going for it there.
Eunice, Ed already with standing 8, and it's over.
What is that?
We have a stoppage.
Oh, heavy hit perhaps.
It was
there.
quite a heavy hit. I think Ed got stunned quite badly by that flurry of shots. And can you blame him? I mean, those were heavy shots.
It is very overwhelming as well.
Sometimes you just don't expect that amount of pressure and that amount of volume to come at you so quickly.
Hopefully he's going to get checked out and be able to keep fighting, but if not, the safety is important here. We don't want anyone to be seriously injured.
I believe they're going to call it. I think they've called it right there.
This round, by first round stoppage, goes to Lancaster University. Eunice Al-Houari.
Somewhat disappointing that we didn't get to see the full extent of these fights. I think it would have been a very good round, but what happens sometimes.
Even as fighters ourselves, it is slightly hard to cheer when a fight ends so quickly and not being certain about the state of one of these fighters. I mean, I'm sure Ed is okay, but it's just a real shame that we didn't get to go any distance at all.
Once again, the victor, Eunice Al-Houari.
They both will have worked so hard towards getting this fight, so it must be disappointing, even for Eunice, who won, that they didn't get to show off the full extent of what they can do or their capabilities.
It's very true, but if I'm not mistaken, Ed, it has some blood on his chest.
What's more important now is that Ed is going to be okay and get the correct medical treatment that he needs.
There is definitely a priority, not just for us, but for everyone on safety, and I agree with this.
I think I might be going deaf, because I didn't hear that. Are we ready for the next fight of the evening?
What an atmosphere.
That's better. Okay, in the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Collinsson.
What a song choice. J. Cole, if I'm not mistaken, she knows.
Joel is a very tall fighter with long limbs, so hopefully he'll be using those to his advantage. However, we are yet to see the height of the York fighter here.
That is true.
And in the white corner, representing the University of York, Hassan.
The crowd going absolutely wild. You were right about the height difference. There is definitely a height difference here, and they will be trying to exploit that.
Sometimes a lower centre of gravity will work for you though. It'll make him harder to knock down and potentially make Joel a little more susceptible to heavy hits, knocking him to the floor.
It is definitely true. On the note of their walkout songs, this was definitely a little bit more menacing or, more serious than vibey like we saw recently.
Walkout songs are definitely a personal choice. You've got to choose with the vibe that you want to give out.
100%. But I think they've been quite good so far this evening.
I've not disliked any of them too much. And here we go, first round. Straight to the head there from Joel.
With the power.
absolutely
Joel
swinging.
really swinging for it, but Seven is not giving up. Seven is keeping strong, using his slight height disadvantage as an advantage to go to the body and swing high for the overhand, but he's still getting clipped. He's getting clipped. He needs to keep that guard high. Otherwise, it could end really early for him.
They have both come out blazing for the first round, and we can only hope that they keep it
There's
up.
that overhand, right overhand, into the body, and right overhand again. But there's the knees. Wow, this is aggression. Proper aggression.
Got their swing.
Apologies for the language in our chant.
Exchange of some knees.
They reset to the middle, back to open play. Seven really needs to abuse the fact that he is shorter to get on that inside, which he is doing, but he needs to get on that inside without compromising his guard, because he's taking and eating a lot of shots. And there we go, and he's going on him. And I believe that's going to be a standing 8.
They are exchanging those blows when they're up on the ropes.
That would be a massive confidence booster for Seven and a confidence knocker for Joel, if I'm honest.
And a reminder to keep his head. He may be tall, but his head can still get hit.
That is true. I said before. Whoa, and he's coming for it again. And I think that's the end of the round.
Wow.
Wow, that was an electric round. I said before that when Seven goes in, he needs to keep those hands up, but so does Joel. He's coming. He's in that. He's against those ropes. He's in that corner, and he knows that those body strikes are coming. But he's compromising his guard up high, going for it. And Seven's recognizing it, giving him 1-2 hooks to the body, and then shooting that overhand. And it worked for him that first round. And I have no doubt that he will go back to that again, throwing some knees against the ropes when we know that there is nowhere to go back to. They might be elastic, but they are as hard a barrier as you can think.
Hopefully what we see from Joel is a little bit more. He's got long limbs. He needs to use that to his advantage, keep him at the ends of them. You can't get boshed around the ribs if you can't get up into someone's ribs. So if he keeps him away with some kicks, jabbing out even, that would keep him away.
Completely.
However, when we do see them up against the ropes, it'd be nice to see Joel keeping that guard up and getting a little bit more control of the clinch situation that they're getting themselves into.
That's just one thing that he honestly doesn't even want. He doesn't want to be against those ropes. He should be using his advantage, his reach advantage, to jab away and get away from those ropes. That's not where he wants to be at all.
Got some low kicks thrown in there. A teep from Joel.
Another overhand right from Seven.
Seven has gotten up on the ropes again.
Going heavy.
A knee from Seven there into Joel's ribs.
Turning slightly away. I know Seven is hungry for this. He told me himself earlier that this might be one of his last fights at uni, so why not go for it?
Knees into Joel there from Seven.
This is great. Seven is working to try get Joel to the ropes, and he's doing it again. Joel should not be allowing this. Teep to the face.
Teep to the face from Joel there.
I think we were warned about this by Aravind, that teep to the face is coming. But it can only do so much, especially when you're against the ropes. And Seven is giving it to you.
That aggression from Seven is going to go down well with the judges.
100%. He's in a place that he doesn't want to be. As Central Hall shakes with passion. They want Seven to pound into him. Left, right, body, head. He's going for it. And Joel looks tired of it. But he strikes back.
A bit of lateral movement. Try and get himself out of the ropes there. Throw up a knee. There we go, a knee landed.
And that's it for round 2. What a round. I can only imagine that the corner for York right now is telling him to keep consistency, but also be bringing those hands back to his head. As we've seen now twice or 3 times, when Seven has Joel on the ropes, he tends to throw so much that he's not keeping his hands up, and the return strike is there. And it's only, especially someone of the range of Joel, it's only one clip away when you get chinned to go down. And you go down once, it becomes a pattern. He can't let that happen. He needs to stay strong. He needs to stay up, and he needs to keep his hands up.
He needs to really use that sort of range that he does have to his distance. We saw that teep land on his face. Just get, another one of them and keep those legs flying as well, jabbing out. I think he's back foot fighting slightly. It could be that he's being walked down, or it could be that he's going on the defensive, taking that as what's working for him.
I feel like,
but I'm not sure it is.
From sparring Seven as a taller fighter, I think he's allowing him a bit too much space. He's allowing him to take him to the ropes, when that is exactly where Joel does not want to be. You don't want to be against a hard surface around you. Oh, a nice sweep from Joel. I don't know if that's going to count as a sweep or just a trip, but Seven did go down, and regardless of how it's counted, it does knock confidence.
Can see Joel just got a knee in there. He is taking a lot of hits to the body though.
He needs to keep his hands up, striking again to the head, going eager. Against the ropes for maybe the 17th time this fight. They're just there. That's where they're finding themselves. Maybe Joel is getting a bit too comfortable with his back against them.
He is managing to get some knees out from his backs to the rope. However, I don't think it's enough for him. I think he needs to be off the ropes.
At this point in the fight, that fatigue is setting in, and getting hit to the body as much as he is, he's going to feel that, and he's going to feel that fatigue. So those knees might not be causing as much damage as he wants to. As Seven goes back, fighting against the ropes. He needs to keep his posture high. He needs to keep his hands up, or else those knees are going to come back and they're going to haunt him.
Just turn his back a little bit there. He is now taking a lot of the shots.
Joel is blatantly tired. The crowd are on their feet for Seven. And that's the end of another round. Are we on round, is that the end of round number 3?
That was 3, I believe. I think if Joel wants this to win this, he's really going to have to
chase for a finish?
Yeah, he's going to have to chase for a finish. He's going to have to pull something out.
Or a crazy 10-8 round.
Stop finding comfort in that rope. Sometimes that is the strategy. Get him into the corner with you. But I don't think it's going too well for him.
The only way that becomes a strategy is if he lands those knees that his corner is certainly telling him about. And even better would be for him to reverse him and get Seven on the ropes. Having a smaller fighter on the ropes is a crazy advantage, especially since you can duck out of range. I'm noticing a trend of York fighters either missing their stall or just deciding not to take it. I mean, it's a great thing for morale, but you really want to sit down after those rounds.
Especially when you're 3 rounds into that. First round, stay up, sure. A few rounds in, I'd be sitting down personally.
And I know a lot of fighters do it to impact the morale of the other fighter, but at some point you don't care. You're just like, they're not tired, I don't care.
Here we go, round 4.
He's going back straight to what he knows is tried and tested.
Oh, and they've backed themselves into that corner once again. We want to see them fighting in the centre of the ring.
100%. Seven is chasing it, and the knees are coming from Joel. But Seven's not impacted by this. He's still keeping it strong. And they're out. They're back into another corner. Genuinely, at this point, I think it's no stretch to say that Seven is 3-0 in terms of rounds.
100%. I have to agree with you on that one.
Seven has experienced fights before. He's been in this atmosphere before, so this is nothing new to him. All he's focusing on here is a big exit of his uni fighting career, and I think he's putting on a great show here. The only thing that can stop him now is a big finish, so he has to be very careful when he is. But I think Joel is very fatigued at this moment.
I think Joel, he's fighting for it, he's fighting, but I think he's tired. I think he's tired.
They are both tired.
They're worn out.
It's a very tiring thing.
Round 4, you're worn out.
Big right overhand, but it doesn't land on Joel's chin.
Landing those body shots there.
Those body shots are going to be massive in the outcome of this, especially when it comes to the 5th round.
Joel landed a knee there, managed to get him off him a little bit. Joel
And that's the
landing
end
a
of
hook
fourth
just
round.
before the bell.
I am loving this. We are 4 rounds down, 4 rounds deep, and yeah, I think if it's not too biased to say, and I'm trying to be off bias, I think Seven has clean swept most of this fight. I think it's his fight to win. Joel needs to come out big swinging, because even if for somehow Seven has lost 1 round, I think it's comfortable to say he won at least 3 of those. And I think he's on his path to a win here.
A unanimous could be sort of what we might be looking at after the end of this round, unfortunately, for Lancaster.
There is also a chance. I think the corner is telling Seven to just take it easy and flow into decision. But Seven might be feeling that second win, and he might want to go for that finish. But let's hope that doesn't lead him into a dangerous situation.
Hopefully we see Joel give it his all, use up that last bit of energy he has left, and land
a nice
a few
hug
nice big
to start
kicks.
the 5th round. True sportsmanship. And back into the corner.
Joel landed a knee there. Body kick from Seven. Seven ducking in under the guard to try and get those body shots in. Joel, hands are up, knees are out.
This is fantastic atmosphere. There's another knee. They're back into they're still around that corner area. We haven't seen a moment in this fight, apart from when they touched gloves, that they've been in the middle.
Seven landing some knees to Joel's ribs there. That has got to hurt at the 5th round.
Wow, I know we're not supposed to comment on how much this crowd is talking too much, at the sake of sounding like a broken record. A full capacity Central Hall really is something.
A nice spin back kick there from Joel. A little bit unexpected from a corner, but nice to see a bit of variation anyway.
I'm only slightly disappointed with the fact that it's constantly in the corner and on the ropes. But it's still a very exciting fight.
And that is time on their 5th and final round.
And I think it's clear and decidedly Seven's fight to win. They both put crazy amounts of effort in. They both put amazing work in. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. And I don't think this is going in the way of a draw. So
I sort of caught Joel's face towards the end of that. I think he could sort of tell that it may not be going in his way. He looked fatigued. But it's always good to fight to that last bell like they did.
Credit to Joel on the fact that he still pushed Seven and he still made him really tired. You could see that he was still giving him a crazy challenge. And we go into the ring for the judges' scorecards for the official decision.
After the 6th round of the evening, the judges have decided by unanimous decision the victor of this round, representing the University of York.
Wow. What a reaction.
I think the crowd knew they were going to get this one.
I think that was a well deserved win. While I have the platform, I'd like to say a big shout out to Seven. He's put in so much work over this year and truly a deserved win.
Got 2 fights left after this one. Let's only hope they can be good follow-ups to what we've already seen today.
I think we can only get better.
It is my pleasure to introduce, in the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Max Meehan.
Max coming into the ring now.
And in the white corner, representing the University of York, Josh Parrott.
Here comes Josh. Go for a penultimate fight of the evening. I hope you're all excited.
The fighters certainly look raring to go. Straight in there with some leg kicks from both of them.
Those low leg kicks are great. We usually see calf kicks, but especially in these thick pads, in these thick shinnies, you really see those thigh kicks working their way through. And the punching intensity is quite crazy here. You can see why this is the penultimate fight of the evening. Oh, down he goes.
I think Max bounced back on his own knee there.
I think that might have given Josh a little bit of a confidence boost to come back from that onslaught of punches that he just experienced.
And Max a little bit of a knock perhaps.
Well, it can either be a knock or just motivation to keep going.
Exactly.
Especially at this level, they are both quite highly experienced. They're both quite good. They're both really good, in fact.
They're very evenly matched here with exchanging blows, it seems.
I think that has been a pattern for our entire fight card, is that there's been so many good, evenly matched fighters.
And it's really nice to see. Got some
Holding
hooks
the
from
head.
Max there. And that's time for their first round.
Well, that time really does fly. I can only imagine what it feels like when you're in there. In the corners, I can only imagine that Josh is going to be told to perhaps try to handle that intensity a bit more. Maybe he was coming out with the idea, as you always do, that it's just a feeling out process. But not everyone does, and Max might have taken advantage of that in that first round. As we said before, and as we've seen before, first round isn't always an indicator for everything. And especially when it's a one-sided one, it usually balances out quite well in the second and third.
Hopefully Max can keep up that intensity throughout, as I think Josh will probably be able to pick it up a little bit more. But Max may have a big energy store packed up somewhere.
I can see, and I was going to say myself, that Josh's game plan here is probably to clinch a little bit more. He's getting clinched and controlled and hit from the clinch, but his response to it is not being the best.
Josh coming straight into that round with some low leg kicks.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what he needed.
These are fast, precise blows that they're exchanging here.
Josh is a very talented fighter. I felt those leg kicks myself, and they are very powerful.
Max effectively blocking quite a few of those low leg kicks coming in there.
It's clear that they've both got the message that, all right, we're going to this intensity, let's get it. They've both stepped up to the challenge. I think Josh was challenged more than Max in that first round, but they both seem to give each other a run for their money. As Josh drops him. Max goes down and the crowd are on their feet supporting Josh.
That's the second time for Max being on the floor of the ring there.
I genuinely think it really gives you some crazy motivation to see your opponent down and hear that crowd.
Some big right hands coming out there from Josh. Max trying to push him into the ropes there.
Josh is doing a good job defending that, coming out of the ropes and reversing that position, something we should have seen with our previous fights too. You know, nobody loves to be against those ropes, and it really is a compromised position as a big head kick lands.
Caught by Max, but a lovely high kick.
Good knees, doing the clinch, doing exactly what his corner said as the round ends. That's round 2 coming to an end.
I think Max is definitely controlling those clinches, but Josh has been landing some lovely hits and kicks in there.
I think if we only scored on aggression, I think that round would have gone to Josh, but it really is a throw-up. They both did so great. The only thing I can say is that Josh really impressed me, and I think impressed everyone, by coming out. Again, he came out in the first round a little bit trying to feel it out and got, let's say, surprised by the amount of the intensity that Max brought. But he did not let that sway him. He came out of the second round and really brought that intensity right back to him. That's what we love to see in these fights.
I think they've sort of leveled the playing field there with that first and second round. They both was first round, Max had it a little bit more, second round Josh had a little bit more, and it's leveled that out now. So these last
100%.
3 rounds do really count.
This is all to play for here as they go back into it for round number 3. Josh starting all of his rounds off with a low leg kick. He's really going for it. And I think there is a setup there. I've seen Josh work stuff where he's going to set up, he's going to keep working that low leg kick until that leg starts coming up. He sees that check's going to come up, and I see that there might be a sweep coming in the near future.
I think Max is getting a little bit frustrated with being on the end of Josh's kick here, as he's just sort of seems to be barreling into that clinch.
That power, you can see it's coming back. Josh is really turning his hips into all those kicks that he's getting. You can tell he's
there.
a much better kicker.
And Max
as
has
he
got
takes
Josh
him
down.
They restart again. Max is telling Josh, anything you can do, I can do too.
They're up in the clinch there. Not much activity going on, so the ref has broken them up. Lots of right hands there from Max. Yep, lovely big right hand to the face there. Head went flying. Max is definitely working his right hand there.
Josh doing great not to just shell up and defend himself. He respects the power, so he's keeping his hands up, but he's not cowering away. A nice right hand from Max.
And a lovely right hand from Josh there at the end of the round.
We love that. We love these fighter spirits. We love how great they're responding to the power and the pressure. It's clear that Josh is understanding that the pressure and the power is coming, and he sees it, but he's respecting it. He's not being silly. He's not just saying, oh, I'll take this and throw back. He's covering up. He's not shelling up too much, and he's throwing those knees back, and he's being smart about his fighting. I love Josh's IQ in this fight.
It's very nice, very technical. They're going for it, but it doesn't look too scrappy, which is very nice when you have clear strikes, well performed, and it's just nice for everyone to watch.
We love the fact that even as they've become more fatigued going into, what is this, round number 3 or 4?
Round number 4 we'll be going into now, I think.
Round number 4. Then there's an element of fatigue, but it's only, as they slow down, they're only getting more technical. They're not becoming more lazy, flopping around their hands. They're doing great. I think both of these fighters are fantastically the fantastic IQ and great technical. Coming out of the low kick again. A slight pattern forming from Josh. Nice body kick, trading blows.
Got Max sort of trying to work out how to get in there, I think.
Yes, 100%. I mean, while there isn't much range difference, I think there is a claim to the fact that Max is a bit of a shorter fighter. whereas Josh loves to play at range. I've seen him in sparring. I know that he's very in and out. As Max goes down one more time.
He keeps falling down. He's kneeing Josh in the corner, but keeps falling down on his own misbalance, I believe.
I believe so. But regardless, it is something that will tank his confidence. Josh will not see that as a case of, oh, he's falling over. He'll see that as a strength.
It's going to motivate both of them in different ways.
100%. As they go again, striking.
Max trying to jab out a little bit more there.
Max is definitely coming to challenge Josh at his preferred range and then coming into where he wants to be in the close range.
Some really good jabbing out, getting into range there. That's what we like to see, especially when you've got someone who doesn't like the close-up.
I think Josh was getting very comfortable at range, thinking, oh, I can leave that gap in my guard because he doesn't like fighting at that range. But Max is coming into it. He's leveling with him. He's like, I can do this too. And it's making for a very entertaining watch as we come to the end of round number 4.
I think it's quite close for these fighters, potentially slightly towards Josh's favour. I think they both need to come out and absolutely go for it.
Well, I think we would be saying that regardless. We love a good show.
Absolutely. Round 5, you just got to go for it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we might have a poll in the live chat going on. Just, if there is one, please vote on who you think is doing better. And regardless of if there isn't one, please support in the chat, just as these supporters are supporting in here today. What do you reckon the corners are telling them?
I think Josh is getting told to sort of breathe more of what he's doing. I think what Josh has been doing is working for him, although they might be sort of suggesting, you know, when he does get you in that close range situation, try this, try that.
There's definitely an element of telling Josh to not be so, you know, laissez-faire at that distance. Like, he's really allowing the fact that there is some distance in between it to... He's letting his guard open a little bit too much, and he's like, oh, I know that my opponent is better at closer distance, but he's allowing that jab and that cross to come and hit him.
I think Max will have been told to sort of work on how to get into that close range, to be able to work at the long ranges so that he can do effective things in the close range there.
I think Josh is coming out here for the first round. Oh,
and they're both down.
What happened there? They both fell. I think this is the first round in the fight where Josh hasn't come out with a low leg kick as the first strike of the game.
They're exchanging big, heavy hits there.
Opting to go for the clinch, showing Max the same thing that he's been shown, that they can both do the same thing. They're both as good as each other.
They've broken up from the clinch there, going for it in some more
I must say, they are both in great fighting shape. This is round number 5, and they're still nowhere near as tired as you would expect them to be.
You wouldn't be able to tell the rate that they're going.
I could say this might be round 3. Pushing him against the ropes. Keeping a bit staying a bit squared up. A little bit pushing.
Bringing that front knee up. Perhaps he was anticipating a low kick, or was potentially thinking going for a kick himself. We haven't seen that much kicking from Max.
No, we haven't. He's really like that jab when at long distance deliver teep. But when he does land it, it does land well. And I believe that's a 10 seconds. These fighters want to give it their all. They're both showing a little bit of fatigue, but they're still giving it their all. Swing, swing.
And there we go.
A little tap of respect after the bell, and that's it for the fight, I believe.
I think Josh looks happy about that one.
I think they both should be proud of their performance today.
Absolutely, they both did incredibly well, and I think it's going to be a close call whichever way it does go.
100%. If anything, I think, a round separates it at best.
I reckon draw or split decision, I think, is what I'm going for.
I think that's a sound take. If I was a betting man, I would take that bet.
You can see Josh trying to catch a bit of oxygen into his lungs there.
I think they were both trying to put on a brave face, but they're both definitely very tired.
Oh, 100%. It takes it out of you.
It really does.
Just waiting for the judges' call.
They both showed great heart, and they both showed each other they can do the same stuff.
Matt's too tired to bring his hands up. Oh, there we go. He's got them up.
There we go. As we go into the ring for your official judges' scorecards and decision.
The judges have decided the victor of round 7 of Fight Night 2025 by unanimous decision from the University of York, Cheers!
Very, very well deserved.
Well fought from both fighters. Josh was very technical in what he was doing there.
100%. I mean, Max was definitely still very great, but Josh did edge him out in certain aspects, and I think that was a very, very well-deserved decision. I mean, both of them put on a magnificent show worthy of being the penultimate fight and what is unofficially the co-main event. As we get ready for our final fight.
It's time for the final fight of the night. Has everyone had a good time? Without further ado, in the red corner, representing Lancaster University, Ty Young.
Got Ty coming out now. He actually had 5 fights in February. He has been matched up loads this year, and he is ready to go. There we are, he's got into the ring now. It'd be great to see him fighting again.
And in the white corner, representing the University of York, James Coughlin.
Got both fighters in the ring now, we'll be starting shortly. They seem, from what we can see, sort of them leaning in the corners, they seem relatively matched for height and size there. Got the ref giving them a little briefing about what he expects. Probably some nice, clean fighting. This is the last fight of the night. We want to finish it with a bang.
Here we go for our, main event of the Roses Fight Night.
And they're off.
Here we go.
James got some punches to the face in there through Ty's guard. Got them in the corner there, they're clinching. James is trying to get some knees there into Ty. And they're off again. They're sort of feeling each other out a little bit pacing it. Got James trying some kicks. Ty blocking a lot of it. Coming out with a bit of a jab there. And James has successfully swept Ty to the floor. James will be feeling happy about that. Ty will be motivated to keep going. Ty throwing out some teeps. Jab cross. Lots of jabbing out from Ty there. Both of them have a very high guard. They're jabbing out equally. We've got some leg kicks from James there. Ty going back with some jab cross and a knee and a teep and a hook. And that is the end of our first round for these fighters.
I mean, what a round. You know, it's a great way to start our main event. I think both of them are some of the most technical fighters we've seen on this card. It might still seem a little bit scrappy at parts, but when doesn't a fight?
And you can see they've sort of both got that more Thai stance of they've got that front knee going up, their hands are a little bit higher, a little bit more turned out with their fists there.
You can tell that both of them have been training Muay Thai for at least a decent amount of time, that it's just gotten into habit. They are really exemplifying that style.
I think that was quite a good display of what both of them can do there. I'm excited to see how Thai comes back after being swept to the floor like that.
You know, sometimes it's just as you say, motivating factor. Hopefully it doesn't dwell on him and he just brings it back.
Here we go, round 2. Thai checking some kicks there with that front leg.
Nice teep, but it doesn't land. Another attempt.
Teep there from James. Thai with his hands flying out.
James really liking that teep.
Yeah.
Going for those knees.
Working the knees in the corner there. Seems like they're battling for control. They're battling for control over there.
They are loving going to the body. I mean, they are proof that going to the body works. People don't like it because headhunters love the KO shot, but you can really end someone's night with body shots.
A liver shot is brutal.
And any other body shot really does drain on your cardio, which is a very big thing, especially this early into the fight.
Thai teeping out there, trying to potentially keep James at a bit more distance.
I'm pretty sure that... Well...
Thai trying to get James into a clinching situation there. James landing some knees. We're seeing a really good mix of punches, kicks and knees from these guys.
They are, as we said, very technical, and one thing you can't take away from them is that they are being aggressive without being too crazy.
Without being rude to each other. They're being respectful fighters, but simultaneously understanding the nature of the fight. They're going for it.
As the fight goes on, you truly see that they are exemplifying what Muay Thai is meant to be. Respectful, aggressive, strong, but not too crazy. What they're doing right now is very smart. They know that they're not going to gas out very quickly if they maintain this type of pace. They're respecting each other's pace. They're making sure they're not going too crazy. And yeah, there's still some power landing. Their bodies are all getting beat up.
You can see Ty trying to hype up the crowd there. We've got the Lancaster lot cheering for him. And the York lot not looking too happy about it, funnily enough.
Well, what a surprise.
The crowd have really been helping to make this event as good as it is.
Well, a crowd of this magnitude, you can't escape it. No matter how locked in you are, no matter what tunnel vision you have, it's always there.
Here we go with their third round here. Straight to the attempted head kick by James there. James with those kicks, very low, very nice. Got Ty pushing back.
A nice combo of purely kicks. You know what, you don't really see that. You don't see people throwing 3 kicks at one time. You really do. You do see a lot of hand striking, but I guess James is thinking, if he's allowing that, why don't I do it?
Ty landing a teep there.
Teep
and
slipped off.
James kneeing Ty against the ropes. And
distance.
time
And
by the ref.
time. What's going on?
Think James potentially got a little bit winded there, perhaps.
I'm not too sure. I might have seen when Ty put his hand or his fist like against James's neck. Maybe it just blew the wind out of him for a moment, and they called a timeout.
Shots to the neck are nasty. I've had a kick to the neck before. Horrible.
Especially when you're not expecting it, it can take it out of you. I'm not too sure if that was what the case was that time, but we're going again now.
Ty trying to sort of extending that left arm out, trying to keep James at the end of his jab, but his hands are down now.
Yep. They're really mixing it all up, aren't they?
It's hard to predict what either one of them is going to do really here.
You think a punch is coming and a kick just comes out of nowhere. they really are good at setting these things up and keeping them quite hidden.
Ty trying to, forcing him on the end of that jab so he can get teeping distance. And that is the end of their third round. Third round.
What a fight so far as we go past the halfway point. 2 rounds remaining. What are we thinking? It's quite close.
I think it's pretty evenly matched. I think the fact that Ty went down is going to go against him. However, then James, whatever that little blip was there, potentially also going against James. So I think it's to play for. I'm not too heavily thinking one way or another.
I do think that so far it's probably leaning the way of James, just based off his the amount that he's outputting and everything.
He's landed a lot more kicks than Ty has, and body kicks.
And also the amount of strikes that he's landed that have gone unblocked, I think will make a great difference. But that's not to take away from Ty. Ty has also put on a great performance so far, and I really doubt that he will stop now.
I think he's been tanking the shots, but just needs to remember he needs to block them as well. He can't just tank them.
Taking shots slows you down. We all know this.
Starting off with a kick from James. Low leg kicks there. Ty grabbing a kick in there, and James has caught Ty.
Nice sweep, but great recovery.
More teeps to the body there.
They do love their teeps, don't they? That might have been a low blow. I think it was. That was a low blow, and he threw up.
James is
understandably
down, and he's
so.
back up. Is he? Ooh. He's up. He's up.
I believe that was a low blow.
The crowd are encouraging him to keep going.
I thought the spit coming out of his mouth might have been puke, but it wasn't. He just...
That's good. You don't want any vomit in the ring.
Nope, we would not like that at all.
Not a pleasant one to clear up.
You got to understand the power that must be coming around that for him to want to go to his knees after a low blow, especially considering they have cups in.
And they're off again. James has recovered.
That is a great show of bravery and just heart.
James landing the body kicks, but Ty landing punches to the head. Chin shot with the jab there.
I guess we'll find out what matters more.
Ty coming out with a few kicks. And a knee to the body, low kick from James. Got James sort of walking Ty down towards the corner, and Ty just sort of accepted that one.
Yeah, I mean, Ty's been doing a great job at keeping away and maintaining distance so far. But sometimes James manages to break through, get that clinch, and when he does, he's really good at what he does with those knees.
Absolutely.
I think Ty coming for a slight bit higher intensity, knowing that he might be down a round or two.
Absolutely. He's got James keeping with those kicks. Ty teeping out.
And that's the end of round number 4, ladies and gentlemen.
We just have one more round left of tonight now. This is going to be explosive, and I think we're going to see Ty absolutely going for it, as with James.
I think both of them are going to want this really bad. Not only the last round of this fight, but as you said, of the whole night. I mean, what can you say? It will be beautiful to see a passionate, well-rounded round to end what has been a truly great fight night.
Hopefully we see them going out with that sort of viciousness that's required in a Muay Thai fight.
100%.
And just like the wanting to win.
If I had to ponder a guess at what their corners are telling them, I'd say James's corner is probably telling him to close the distance slightly more and not wait around on the end of that teep, because that teep is going to damage his body whether he likes it or not. It's not just a push kick. When you dig those toes in, it hurts. And I'm assuming Ty will also be told to maintain that distance, because that is where he is best.
Teep from Ty, teep from James. A big teep from James there.
They're exchanging.
Knee from James, knee from Ty. They're getting into that clinch.
Exchange of knees. time, another low blow.
You can see that they've come out of this one absolutely going for it. James has sort of really recovered from that last round where he was knocked down a little bit, and I think he wants it badly.
I mean, look at this. Out of every fight, there's been no low blows, and then we have a fight with 2. I mean, it's part of the game, isn't it? No one's intentionally trying to hurt someone in a way that's illegal. They get started again. Both of them have recovered from a very bad shot. They keep going.
Ty sort of recovering from James getting him against the ropes by flipping it over. James landing some absolutely brutal knees and another low blow to Ty.
What's going on there? A standing 8. A standing 8 as James was questioning what is going on. As Ty is holding himself. He's saying, no, I think it's over. It must be over. It's not.
It's not over. I think Ty decided to keep fighting there.
You know what? Ty almost looked defeated there, but you know what? Sometimes you change your mind when you're in that ring. If he still wants it, he's going to go get it.
You can see him trying to stop James from keeping him into that corner. James kicking him in there, keeping him still. Insane knee to the ribs.
James going back to those knees, knowing that's what got him the standing 8 count last time.
Teep from Ty, trying to keep him away. Nice round kick to the body there, jabbing out.
These shots are so powerful, I can almost hear them up here.
And that was
is it, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolutely fantastic fight to cap off our fight night.
Really, really strong show of talents there. Both fighters obviously knew what they were doing.
Wow.
James looking quite victorious there.
I think both of them have the belief, but if I had to put my money on it, I would say James has gone the extra mile.
I think James slightly dominated that one, but Ty held his own very well.
Well, we can only speculate up in the commentary box. We're going to go down to the ring now for your official judges' scorecards and decision.
Here we go.
After the final match of the evening, the judges have decided the winner of this round by unanimous decision is James Cley.
A well-deserved win in my books.
You are massively celebrating right now. Deservedly so, their fighters fought very well.
No, truly, it's incredible. I mean,
got the final scores now.
Any bets? I think York takes it.
So before I get to that,
not that I'm biased in any way.
Thank you very much for coming to the Roses 2025 Fight Night between the University of Lancaster and the University of York. It's been an unforgettable display of fierce competition, skill and sportsmanship. So thank you for attending. And the night does not end here. We might have ran the bar dry here, but there's still beer at Courtyard. So make sure it's open till from 11 until midnight. It's 2 for 10 cocktails at Courtyard.
I bet Courtyard's going to make quite a bit of money tonight.
The first match was an exhibition match between Ella Cathro and Tristan Addington, and that was a draw. Oh, come on. The second match was between Josh Cherington and Tyler Nolan Green, and the victors were Lancaster. Round 3, Igley Lyko and Jack Screeton was a York win for Jack. João, Viterino, and Hugh Bon. And Hugh was the winner from York. 5th round, Younes Al-Hawari and Ed Firth was a Lancaster victory. Round 6, Joel Collinsson and 7 Hassan was 7 Hassan of the University of York. Round 7, Max Meehan and Josh Perrett. And Josh won from the University of York. And the final round, the one you just watched, was Ty Young and James Cuffley. And it was James Cuffley from the University of York. So that means the final score, Lancaster with 6 points. First one doesn't count. And the University of York with 12.
What an event. That was absolutely fantastic. And we've got with us here now, we've got João, who was the last fight before the interval. João, how do you find that?
It was an amazing fight. My opponent obviously got the better of me. It was really fun. The crowd was absolutely electric. Genuinely, it was an amazing event. Obviously, we're going to do better next year.
Hopefully.
But yeah, no, absolutely amazing, fantastic.
Did you sort of have any like highs or lows in the fight? Like, was there a moment that stood out for any good reasons or bad reasons?
I mean, during the fight, obviously I took, as you all saw, I took a lot of head kicks, and that was probably the highlight. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how I didn't fall asleep there. It was certainly a highlight. My opponent, I think there was mostly lows, obviously, as I lost, but he definitely deserves a win for him. Again,
there's
like
definitely still very many moments to be proud of. You still landed quite a few good shots. I still think it was a very competitive performance, regardless of the end result. Did you have any like premonitions coming into this fight? Did you have anything you wanted to accomplish? And is there anything that you ended up thinking, oh, I could have done this better, or I should have done this, or I did this right?
Well, the fact that I was moving forward in general was correct. I was putting the pressure, he didn't like that, but I didn't add anything onto that, essentially. I was moving, but I wasn't doing anything with it. I was taking the shots, but I wasn't replying. It's more of like, the opportunity was there, but I just didn't take it. You know, my biggest accomplishment was stepping in between the ropes. You know,
100%.
It was my first fight. I couldn't have asked for a better opponent.
You held your own really well for a first fight. It's terrifying in those rings, and the fact that you kept going. I think you got knocked to the floor at one point. You just got up and kept going.
No, I did not get knocked to the floor.
I must have got my fights mixed up there.
We watched these fights.
Too many. From here, the view's a little
obscured, as you can see.
No, but the fact that you just kept going round after round, you kept plodding forward into him. Big respect for that.
Thank you.
Got the little cut to show the head kicks there now.
It's alright. We love cuts. It's what.
War scar.
Yeah, I think if you want to see a real war scar, you should talk to Eunice's opponent, Ed Firth. That is a real good one.
Is Ed alright back there?
No, everything's fine. Everything's good sport. You know, we all hugged it out. Me and you hugged it out. Everyone hugged it out.
May I ask, on the topic of atmosphere and the crowd, how did you experience? What was your experience in the ring with hearing that crowd and that support from there?
Well, in my interclub, I didn't even have half the crowd, right? So to be here with all these people booing me and cheering him, you know, it's not the fact that I got booed, but the fact that the crowd was there, it definitely played a big impact. But it was definitely not in the negative way, but the fact that people enjoyed it, I got a reaction, and that's what I wanted, really. Yeah. I wanted people to enjoy it, whether I got booed or cheered. that's what I wanted in the
No,
end.
It was still a fantastic fight. Regardless of result, would you say that you are, I mean, understandably so, obviously I'd say you're proud of your performance. Who's not, you know? But working on the things that you say you should work on, such as putting more stuff onto moving forward, is that something you're looking to carry forward perhaps into another fight, more fights?
100%. It's my first fight. I'm not going to stop here. Obviously, as my instructor says in Bolton, it's a learn, not a loss. And I'll certainly, learn from this, and I'll get better, and I'll bounce back, and hopefully next time I'll get a win, whether it's for us or for them. And that's obviously I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to watch the video back. And I'll get back to work.
You can only hope to improve, really.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you at the training sessions.
Oh, you definitely will.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the evening.
Hello, Joshua. Yeah, I can imagine. Our voices are almost gone, but yeah, the night was very enjoyable. We really loved your fight. Talk us through it. Talk us through the highlights for yourself.
I don't remember a lot of it after round 5's a blur. The game plan was just get in the low kick and then knee, and I think I did that reasonably well.
There was a pattern building up which we caught onto with every round starting with a nice flurry of low kicks. That was really good. It clearly was impacting him. That it seemed like the power was reducing due to the fact that you were taken away from his legs. Was there anything that he was?
Feel like it.
Was there anything coming back from him that you think was like a specialty, something that you'd like compliment him on?
The boxing. I knew his boxing was very strong, and I knew that coming in from other members of our club, like sparring him. So I knew his boxing would be a threat, and it was. I think every clean shot he landed was a punch from. I knew his boxing would be. His right hand's very strong. I felt that multiple times.
We did see that. I've forgotten my question. Talk me through your mindset with distance and range, because I saw that when you stayed at a certain range, you would get caught with your guard slightly open and get caught with that jab or that right cross.
That was a bad habit. I thought, because I had a minor reach advantage, I thought I could stay outside and low kick, and it worked to a degree, but it ended up being, he said his boxing's very good, he's very efficient at closing distance with his hands, so I felt that, and then that's when I started kneeing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stay at range, but then when he kept closing distance, I kept having to clinch and knee a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but it worked out in the end, I guess.
It did work out in the end. It was a very good fight, and one thing we wanted to commend you on up here was your incredible cardio. I know it might, to you, you're probably like, I'm tired but truly, up here, even in round 5, it looked like it could be round 3 with how it's probably more your heart than your cardio, but it was something. Talk me through how you felt with, taking those, because you stayed composed regardless of looking like you needed a deep breath at the very end.
That's just down to going down to Clifford's every Sunday with the lot from Legions and getting absolutely smoked by 12-year-old kids who are much fitter than you and just trying to keep up with them.
And hill sprints.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're going with there and just getting absolutely smoked by children.
Any more questions?
I just wanted to say well done. You kept your range really, really well. You could see you had a pattern in your fighting, and it worked for you. It worked in your favour. I think you were really technical, and the shots were really clean. So just well done, to be honest. You did fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
Great. Any shout-outs to anyone?
Seb Goes Greg's. Couldn't have done it without that YouTube channel. Every day through the weight cut, it was a struggle, but watching Seb Goes Greg's was just made it so much easier.
Lovely. And to your coaches, perhaps?
Thank you to Will Webster from Legions and Syndicate, Steve Coupland for helping prepare.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right, I think we've got here now with us, we've got James and Ty from
what
the
a
last fight.
Yes.
Wow, well done both of you.
Thank you.
Do you want to take it in turns, perhaps give us a little, how did you find it?
They've just come straight out of the ring and straight up here. You guys are still sweaty.
Still got a shin guard.
Is it alright if we say profanity on this? I just want to make sure.
Please try not to swear.
Yeah, we'll try to reduce the colour of
the
language.
I was getting ready to let go.
Yeah, I was going to say, sure shows the feelings.
Well, we see what it feels like.
Yeah, we'll say bleeping, bleep, my head really hurts. No, I thought it was really good to me. I love the situation of it. Obviously, it's nicer now that I'm not getting ready to go out, but no, it's So what were your nerves like? My nerves today have been
To be
awful.
fair, it was like 3 fights before. I was like, oh well, I'm starting to really feel this. I mean, my hands starting to get clammy. But you know, I was just looking around. My team was there. You know, they were telling me, oh, you got to do this, got to do that. You just focus on the game plan. It's like it really did help. You know, when you got these guys all around you supporting you, it takes that edge off. You know, you feel more ready to go. You don't feel that heart beating out your chest.
So that's really good, to be fair. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it does really change it if you just do have someone. Because I think they'd be a lot more rational.
Yeah,
I feel like it's really easy to just worry about everything.
Yeah, it is easy just to walk out, think, all right, let's, time for a bit of an argy-bargy in front of all these people. You start hearing all the York crowd going boo. You're like, all right, here we go. You know.
On that topic, talk us through your experience with the crowd. Do you think? I mean, I'd say it enhanced the atmosphere. I think I can speak for all of us. But tell me about like your individual feelings. I know some people said that it was just noise. For some people, it was like they felt a second rush of energy. Just tell us what you felt.
To be fair, because I think it might have been because we were the last fight. We just heard it. Honestly, the crowd has been sort of mental. Obviously, the bar got drained
halfway through.
Yeah, literally halfway through, and you can sort of guess where all the alcohol went. You know, all the crowd just shouting. But yeah, no, it does. I think it sort of just goes into background noise.
Yeah.
'Cause you got all that.
But it's like, when you walk out, the media team did a good job of when you got to the lights, give the crowd something to cheer on for, and it's nice, you play off the crowd because all of the bright lights, you can't see a face, you just feel this umbra in your body, everybody's screaming, everybody's going either boo or yeah, So you can play off the crowd, you can give them a bit something to cheer on about, you can say, oh, it didn't hurt when it really did hurt, and they think, oh well, it did hurt, but it's like. It's just a thing to play off, It's not like a negative thing or a positive thing. It's just like a thing you can interact with.
I think it's really surreal. When you just like put your hands up or something, and
and
you feel the reaction almost. Yeah, it's just little things like that.
We did love that. You guys put on a very great show. On that topic, I think that was the loudest the crowd was all night. I mean, you did say regarding the alcohol, but there's definitely other factors to that.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good technical fight as well. Like
I don't know about technical. The last round, I was just winging some shots.
It looked like the most Muay Thai-est Muay Thai we've seen all night, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, it was proper fun, and obviously teammates, the cornermen, absolutely amazing, telling me what I need to do. All the friends we brought down here, everybody's been absolutely amazing. You can't do this by yourself, it's difficult to go out in front of this big crowd, even for both sides, even when the crowd's cheering you on, you still feel a bit nervous with all these people. You said what, like 900 people?
Yeah, just over.
That is mental for anybody, even some guys, they had a tough night, they didn't do too well, they didn't execute their game plan, and it turned out poorly for them. But really, the biggest props to everybody that steps in between those four corners. You're a real man, you're a real fighter, and you're a real hero to these people, because you can't you come out, put your body on the line to get that cheer at the end.
Yeah, just going back to what you were talking about, how your coaches and your team was such a big impact, and this is for both of you. We've had a few people say that they basically did not hear their coaches at all, apart from when they were like face to face. Were you guys listening out for that? Did you guys hear that? And was that like any sort of major difference, something that pushed you forward?
Well, towards the end, the coach at the first couple of rounds, you listen to your coach. They're telling you, throw the teep more, throw the jab more. You can follow that, but when you get to the last rounds, your liver's starting to hurt, your toes are broken. You got knee in the John Dory one time, and they tell you to go for the head kick. You think, oh well, if I go for the head kick, I'm gonna fall over and look like a right numpty.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're gonna sort of wrap it up there, guys. But go and injure your liver in another way and enjoy the night.
Yeah, have a good one. You guys deserved it. Thank you so much for your time.
I think we're going to go back to the main studio now.
Yes, thank you.